Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
All right, welcome everyone to another deal reveal. Super happy to have you here today. We've got a nice full house live with us, and of course, our extended Facebook family. Nice to have you here listening. So, Azreer, nice to have you here. Francois, Julio, we got Layla, Lori, Manassa, Marvin, Mikhail, I'm not sure. If you got the English or the French, go on. Peter, and of course, we have LeeAnne, and I hope Mike is with you on as well, because we are going to be revealing another deal today from the community. It is literally back to back to back. Today was supposed to be Julio, and he preferred to wait it out a couple of weeks, and so and did a call, and LeeAnne, Mike are here, and it is going to be epic. So fantastic. Yes, got your message, LeeAnne, ready for you. So for those of you, let me make sure my video is on and all is good. Everything seems to be good. So for those of you who are here for the first time, these deal reveals every Thursday night at 7 are open for anyone and everyone. If you're interested in U.S. real estate, come and learn. If you know people who are interested in U.S. real estate, we'll invite them over. It is free every Thursday, and it's an opportunity for us all to get excited. Excited because we can see it's really not as complicated or as scary as we might have thought, but it can be all that exciting for the opportunities that are just across the border for us. And so we are going to look at deals quickly. If I'm going through the deal reveal, we're going to go quickly. And once in a while, we bring on community members who are doing their deals, want to showcase their success, celebrate with them, just like Mike and LeeAnne here today. So we are cash flow buyers, and you're going to see that that is one of the main drivers of what we're looking to do in the States is invest for cash flow. And so, as I said, we have Mike and LeeAnne today, and we are going to showcase this property, which is so close to being wrapped up. They were, in fact, they're going to share the story, I'm sure, but they were supposed to close today, and well, it didn't happen. But they're going to be able to share the story, the ups and the downs and the sideways, the biggest takeaways, so that you all can, I guess, feel better about the process and know that these things can happen, and what mindset do we need to keep on going to achieve the lifestyle we deserve and to go get our miracles one deal at a time. So without further ado, let's see if we can get Mike and LeeAnne's camera on. So let's try that first, see if we can do that. Are you able to turn on the camera? Or maybe you don't want to. I didn't ask, actually.
No, it's not saying we can yet.
Okay, try
there
that.
it is.
There we go.
There we are.
Ask, we shall receive.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mike and LeeAnne, for a second call today. We had another call earlier today, and we went over some details of property management, but that's not what the focus of today is. The focus is really you two. What happened before this call today? Why are you here right now? And where are you going? Let's start with that.
All right. So,
Go ahead.
So we're real estate investors since 2017, mostly in Canada. We started dabbling our toes in to the US market last year. And then we wanted to learn more about the US. We really liked it. We really wanted to cash flow US money. It's like accepted everywhere we go. And we really want to spend a lot of time in the US, winters, get us out of the cold. So we really started, we had a few projects, a few houses that we bought, but we needed a little bit more guidance. That's when we found a JK, community, and kind of dove right in with you guys. taking it all in, trying to share what we could about, the properties we had in Detroit. That's where we were kind of building a little empire. And then we decided, we seen the bus tour. And then, we seen like that you did, we looked at Florida and short-term rentals and all over the place. And it was like, we just couldn't seem to make it work. We've even we talked to some, some people that we converse with quite a bit. And he said, I looked at Florida and I couldn't get the numbers to work. And then of course you put together that presentation and it was like,
It was a deal reveal that we'd seen. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Yeah. It was like, you got to see this, LeeAnne, and we watched it 2 or 3 times, right? And I scratched my head and I'm like, I don't know, we gotta get into this and we got to get into this now. And then the bus tour was announced, and of course, with everything going on in the world, could we make it? And we really focused and we said, you know what, this is something we want. What's holding us back, right? Tuesday we booked flights.
Well, the day before on Monday, we had a call with Janie, and that's what she asked us, what's holding you back? And we looked at us and said, I guess nothing.
Yeah. And then she
Thanks
said,
for calling us out.
Yeah. And then I think she said, it's just going to get you to where you want to be. And we said, absolutely. And then she just kind of went quiet. Right. And then we're like, okay. So Tuesday morning, I got on, I booked flights. We drove to Detroit on Wednesday and flew out Thursday. Snowstorms, we got stuck. We got in at 5 a.m. We missed about the first morning of the bus tour, but you guys were fantastic. Genevieve was fantastic in making sure that we were able to meet up with you guys. And then it was, I think we spent probably 16 hours a day with 20 people, you and Janie, and you were very generous with your time. And when you get in a room of 20 like-minded people,
it wasn't a competition. It was just pure sharing and learning and knowledge. And it was incredible.
Yeah. When I told some people, Tuesday, hey, I think I called my dad and I said, can you watch the driveway for me? Our kids are old enough to stay on their own, but they can't run the snowblower. And he's like, you're going to Florida in 2 days? Like, people thought we were crazy, right? And then you get down there and everybody in the room was like high-fiving us. They're like, I can't believe, you booked it on Tuesday and you're here on Thursday. Like it's, just that encouragement. And then to walk those properties and to see them. Mm-hmm. And I think we probably went to 5 different communities and we seen the amenities, and it was like, this is what we need to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And of course the numbers made sense. That was, we've grown a very successful portfolio because we do everything based off our numbers and not on emotion. But this one was a good portion of it was emotion, but then it was like, whoa, step back. No, the numbers make sense. Right. Yeah. Yes. So we left. And then as soon as we got home, it's like, yeah, we want to start doing this. And we're very process driven. We're both mortgage agents. So, we started, securing financing or reaching out to get, financing secured for that type of purchase. And then also we've grown our portfolio with a lot of OPM. So we figured out how to do it, an OPM play with, other people's money and how to bring in an investor. And then another mind-blowing thing was the RSP strategy. So we're using a portion of our RSPs and a portion of OPM. So really, it's all money that, the OPM obviously wasn't ours. And then that RSP secured funds, it stays secured, obviously, like we learned strategy, but that in a sense was locked up money that we couldn't access. Now we're able to access that money, use it to buy this place. We're going to pay ourselves back at a great interest rate and have a absolutely fantastic
rental property.
Cash flow property. So, yeah, and then just living the dream. Yeah. And at one point we had 2 of them under contract.
Yeah.
And it got, on paper we could do 2, but then it was like, okay, we need to take the emotion out of it and, let's do it properly. Let's get one, make sure it's secure. Let's secure it. Let's get it.
Let's get it to close, which we're not quite there yet.
And then, and then we can get that second one, say in 3 months, once we theme it and then it's stabilizing and it's generating, that fantastic cash flow.
Love it, love it, love it. Yes, a
Yeah.
big learning. Thank you so much for that. And LeeAnne, I know it's right on the top. Let me just maybe say a thing or two in here. The deal's not yours until you close. That's a big learning, right? Hopefully you won't have to go through that learning on this deal, but you know, you've been in the industry for a while. The deal isn't yours until your name is on that deed, right? So that's fantastic. And the other big takeaway I like to say is how quick did this happen, right? Often people think it takes years to change. Well, it takes a moment. It takes a moment to change. And so never forget that. Your life can completely change in a moment's notice. So excellent. I love that. I love that. LeeAnne, what are you hiding in there? What are the biggest or add to the story or your biggest takeaways? What would you like to share?
I guess the biggest takeaway is we did, like Mike said, we prepare ourselves because we don't want to go in and say, yeah, we're going to start offering on properties, and not, because we are mortgage agents. We know that we have to have, you know, get people engaged. And we did, we reached out to a whole lot of people, and it's quite amazing on how many people that we reached out to and said, oh yeah, I can do wonderful things for you. And then turn around and either ghost you and never hear from them again. And I'm thinking, well, don't you want business? And then the other one was, and it gets discouraging, but you just got to keep fighting the fight and figuring it out, that, you know, some people said, well, we can give you 75% LTV, which is, wow, that's amazing, you know. But then all of a sudden the next day they turn around like, oh yeah, we can only do 65. And it's like, okay, well, what happened here? Like, you were promised, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll do 75%. And then, you know, a couple days later, yeah, sorry, 65%. But you just got to keep in the hustle. And those are those little bumps in the road that, you know, create problems for you.
And then that also to that 10% on, you know, a $725,000 house is, you're the math man, $72,000, right? Like that's US. So it's, so that's a big, you know, that's a big a difference. So, but reaching out to people in the community, you know, using, you know, some of the people in the community to put these together. And we got a fantastic email from you. It was a couple days, you know, past where we've already engaged with another lender, but again, you know, great opportunity with that lender that you sent us and got us thinking about for the next one, right? And then also when it's time to refinance this one and stabilize it, you know, after we theme it and, you know, with the market the way it is, you know, they're selling for $50,000 more than what we have this one under contract for. So
that's why we need to close.
Buying at a discount, but you only realize it a month later.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at 6:45, I got a message saying, just got the clear to close. Our attorney will be working on the HUD document. So that'll go out tomorrow. And then, you know, we have a conversation ongoing with, you know, the current seller, just saying, hey, it was supposed to be today. We have to sign that extension with them. So that's still in the works. So, you know, fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Positive energy. We're going to be, you know, signing tomorrow, potentially closing tomorrow or Monday.
Epic. Just epic. Congratulations for making it this far. And I'll congratulate you again, obviously, when the ink was on the paper, the virtual paper. So congratulations. Really, really, really amazing. So I just got your message. You have a little presentation for us today as well.
Yeah. Not that we want to upscale your Florida presentation, but
one up. Yeah, bring it up. Bring it on.
Well, we kind of used your presentation and kind of made it our own.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You should be able to share. So share your screen. So take it away. This is fun.
Okay. So we'll start with some stats. And
you can see that, okay?
Yep, we're good. We're
okay, perfect. So, you know, one of the things that we wanted to be prepared was...
and this is part of our actual presentation to our OPM.
Yeah, so we pulled a couple. So a couple of things is, you know, we talked about it at the bus tour. But, you know, we pulled some stats out of that, and then also a presentation that you had sent. We wanted to make sure that it made sense. And then obviously when, you know, you're going to a private investor, you want to make sure that, it makes sense to them as well. So, this is something that we worked on. We pulled up the stats. Total visitors to Florida, 2019, 2020, 2021. We all know the blip on the radar that happened in 2020. We talked about it at the bus tour. So we pulled up for Florida, Orlando, and then also Magic Kingdom. So,
and that's just Magic Kingdom. That's not all of the Disney. That's just Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Out of the, there's 6 kind of, 3 Disneys and 3 Universal theme parks or various parks. And, that's just one of them. So, as we explained, hey, 2019, 134,000, 2020, we had COVID, and then 2021, it opened back up. But as you can see, it only went down, about 25%, because what happened was nobody in the US could travel internationally. So a lot of the Americans, were traveling to Florida, and anybody that we talked to said, typically you'll see, people are booking 6 months, a year out, because they're coming from all over the world to come to Florida. People continually come to Florida, for Disney, for Universal. But a lot of Americans were coming in, and they were the 3 to 4 day range. Whereas, people that were booking the 1 year out, they were longer term. So it really became, a short term, where they were 3 or 4 days, and it was 3 or 4, families said, hey, let's head down there and grab one of these houses, right? A big 6-bedroom house. It has all the amenities. We'll show that in a minute. So, the numbers were great for Florida. Again, Orlando, we're right in the heart of it. Just slightly south because of the zoning. Obviously, they only allow short-term rentals in certain areas, but they really encourage it, and they build these whole communities designed around short-term rentals. Again, a little bit of a drop, but then, it came right back in 2021. And as you can see, 2019 and then 2021, right back up to 21 million. So, you can see the numbers are just rebounding. And, they said total visits to Florida, 134. Why this hasn't got back yet is people are going to Disney again. There's just not as many conferences that are happening. So, but they said those are starting to open back up, and, 2022 is going to be a banner year, I'm sure, for Florida. So.
And just take a look at that. Even in the bottom, the worst year there, 2020 in Orlando, 35 million. That's more than Canada's population. The worst of the pandemic, you have every single person in Canada in Orlando as a visitor. I love it.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you the different scales, right? The US is 10 times bigger than Canada. It's a huge fishbowl to fish in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
So the amenities,
It was rough.
it was tough, but we actually spent one day just on the Sunday, and we relaxed poolside in Champions Gate, and it was rough market research that we did.
Yeah. I did several laps on the lazy river. They wouldn't allow me on the water slide. No, it was fantastic, right? Bars, tiki bars, splash pad for the kids, the big clubhouse with the restaurant and an arcade. They had these cabanas, beautiful cabanas that you could rent.
Air conditioned cabanas,
Yeah, air
crazy.
Yeah, they have washrooms in them, a fridge, TVs, shuttle service at organized social events. Yeah, there was bingo by the pool and all kinds of great stuff. And hey, one of the greatest things, no more than 25 minutes from Disney, no matter which of these communities that we went to. Hey, some are 10 or 15 minutes from Disney. And basically you jump on, I don't know if it's the I-95 or whatever it is there, but you jump on there and you're there in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So.
And the nice thing part too, that they have all these great amenities, but if you just want to stay at the house, it's got its own pool. It's got its own screened-in lanai. It's got, you don't even have to leave your house. And it's got a hot tub. It's got everything. Like each house has that. Plus you can go to the clubhouse and enjoy all these amazing amenities as well.
Yeah. And actually Champions Gate is building another big separate water park right over by your place. So that's also really exciting to get in now, knowing that in about 4 or 5 months time, that's going to be completed. And that's going to be another big draw for the community. You might have seen this house. Obviously the pirate house. We got to go through there. We seen a Harry Potter house. Just, if you have a kid, who wouldn't want it? I wanted to sleep in that bed, right? Like, what I mean? I wanted to go down that slide, like just amazing. Like these bones, they were actually like, the guy nudges me and says, these are human bones. Like he goes, yeah, you buy them on Amazon. Like, who would have known? Like, it's just, you see the pictures, but when you're there and you see the attention to detail and you can actually walk it and see it, it's pretty amazing. So, themed house facts, right? Again, we talked about that down there. This community is full of short-term rental houses. Whether you pick this house or the house beside you, what's going to differentiate you? Let's get us into that 1%, where everybody's going to be fighting over your house. We looked at different numbers. Our plan is to generate, low end 120K, high end 180K, gross income per year. You could never do that with a single family home, right? You could never do that with
long-term rentals.
I don't know. Could you do that with a 10plex? Maybe, but you can never do it with a long-term rental. And then the other side of it is we can enjoy this place as well. So, stats show about a 60% occupancy on the low end, on the high end, about 85%. And even over with those numbers going down, occupancy still stayed over 60% in these communities, and they're back hovering at about 85% right now. So, that's fantastic.
And then get a great property management like Kyle, and you're even going to go higher than that.
Yeah, the perks of the opportunity that you guys offer, right?
Yeah. So we did our little breakdown as part of our presentation. We put it in as a purchase price of 700,000.
We're always cautious on our numbers, right? When you're presenting to somebody, and you're building this out, we always try to be, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but we always want to be cautious. We don't want to say, hey, it's 85% occupancy. We didn't even put that on there because we wanted to sell the deal at 16, 70%. In 2020, they were hovering between 60 and 70% occupancy. That was the everyday ones, right? We're in that 1 percentile. So I know we're going to be at the 85, 90% no matter what.
Actually, it's an 8-bedroom home. This was before we actually put under contract. But that I did flip out the picture, and is that one our home, or it looks pretty close to that one?
Looks pretty close. Of course, a lot of them all look the same, right? So of course, 15 minutes from Disney, 1 hour from, and then we built out our numbers based on $500 a night, at 60 and at 70% occupancy. We know with a house like this, if it's properly themed out, you're going to start at $400 to $500 a night in the low season. Your mid season, you're going to be 6 to 750, and then peak, your long weekends, Christmas time, American Thanksgiving, we're going to be at that $900,000 mark, potentially maybe 1,100. Right. Some of the bigger houses might be getting 12 or 1,300 a night. But again, we built it out at $500, to be fair to everybody. Mortgage, insurance, utilities, pool fees, property management, or HOA, our homeowners association. These communities are great. They cut the grass for you. They take the trash every day. It includes your internet, it includes your cable. It really is a turnkey solution. So, at $6,000, it's a deal, right? taxes, and I think you always mention some of these fees, this insurance and, these utilities aren't a whole lot more than what it would be for a single family home, you know? But, look at the income that can be generated. And then we build it out, our net income at 70% occupancy at $500 a night on the safe side, 43,000, USD per year. Now,
More than the average salary in the US.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to, maybe for the presentation, we could have built it out at the 80% just to show, but, somebody, could do the math. And the beauty of this is your hard costs all stay the same. So when you hit to that 80% occupancy, your net income goes up even more, you know what I mean? Because anything over that, about that 50% occupancy, it's all free money because your hard costs stay the same. And then when you hit that 80% occupancy, it's, the numbers just go up huge. So
That's what we have for you.
Under promise, over deliver, always,
Yeah.
always. We try to do that. It gives you, room to build in bonuses and extras and surprises and gifts and all these other things as well. So we obviously try to do it every step of the way. Mike and LeeAnne are doing it for their investors, for their own sanity as well, because it's always great when you're like, yeah, I did even better, So it's all definitely under promise, over deliver every step of the way. So amazing. Thank you so much, Mike and LeeAnne. I think I understood that was the last slide. Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
yeah.
Excellent. So how do we feel? Couple days away, maybe a day away from closing. There might be a 40, 50, 60,000 NOI at the back end of this waiting for us. Well, for you, us mean the community. So it's all very, very exciting. And yes, Michael, in the numbers, management will go up a little bit if the income goes up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's peanuts at this point.
Yeah.
But lots of love coming in from the chat here. Azrir AZ is saying thank you for the share. Julio says he tried all the beds during the tour and they were amazing.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good fun. A lot of good fun.
The other thing too to add is that we're going to be getting this great income, but there's also some great appreciation already happening, and it's just continuously happening. So there's that as well as the extra bonus.
Yeah. And then we get to use it.
Yeah. And that's
right. You know what I mean? We're just, it's like, if you had a long-term rental, even if you had a long-term rental in Florida, you're never going to get to use it. But this, we simply call up the property manager and we say, hey, leave off, December 10th to December 20th. I'm bringing a family down for 10 days. There's 6 bedrooms in the place that we're getting in, 6 bathrooms. Like, you can bring a whole crew down, right? And, we're really, really looking forward to taking advantage of that for ourselves. Being in Florida, we could drive there in 20 hours. We could drive to Detroit in 4.5 hours, jump on a plane, and literally we could leave at 8 in the morning, be in Detroit at lunch, and be in Orlando by supper time. Use that house if there was a slow week, we could use that house, take advantage of it, and enjoy some warm sun.
Absolutely. I love it. For the longest time, I would say, don't mix investments with lifestyle. Get the investment, get the best investment possible, and that cash flow, go and get the lifestyle until we fell on these investments. And you can still treat it as a pure investment. Grab every dollar you can and go have the lifestyle with that cash. You can go rent something else, or you have the control. Basically, that's the point here. You have the control, you have the freedom to do what you want, and it does fit both investment and lifestyle purposes. So amazing. And look at all that love coming in from Gugu. Amazing. Thanks for the share. And I hope I said that right. We have Lourdes, inspiring. Thanks for the share. Rory, amazing. Thank you for the presentation. Janice, thank you for sharing. So I can get mine sometime in the near future. That's the point here. We're here to show you it's possible. It's possible. Darsh, amazing, fantastic. Rory, is it possible to get 80% LTV in the US as a Canadian? We have not locked that up yet. And like you mentioned, Mike, I think it was Mike, people say they can, and then you go down the rabbit hole and then they can't. And believe me, like I had a conversation like that yesterday to today. Another one said they can do 75%, and whoop, it comes back at 65. I mean, this is so common. But right now in the pipeline, I do have someone who says 80. We'll see. I have another one. I'm always, and the whole community, everyone's testing everyone. That's the power of working together in a community. We get to see who the real who the real ones are pretty fast, and
Yeah.
we leverage and we compound everyone's effort at the same time, which is amazing.
Yeah. And as
Well,
soon as we find that, obviously, as soon as we find that one, right, we're going to be sharing. Just last night, we had a conversation with David and Vincent.
Yep.
You know, they're down in Florida, and we were able to meet, you know, David, and you know, we had some great conversations, and we've been in touch. Right, we're obviously on the same path. They closed last Tuesday,
Yeah.
or I guess this Tuesday. You know what I mean? So excited for them, and I know when we were down there. So you know what I mean? It was like it was to meet these people, and then you know to come home, and we still had some friends that were like, "You went to Florida, you're gonna buy a house there." Like they still don't understand they call us real estate geeks. You know, we want to have these conversations, and we get inspired. Like, you know, we're so excited tonight to come on to this, right? We were like kind of a low because we were hoping to close, but then I got that the you know clear to close, and we're really excited. But like to talk with David last night, and then to talk with you today, and it's just so reassuring and reaffirming. And you know, it's, you know, we run numbers, and people encourage you and inspire you, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this," and they're so excited for you. It's it just gives you a warm and fuzzy. Like my hair is standing up, so it's yeah. So
Amazing. Yes, yes. David and Vincent, they're in Florida right now. They're meeting up with Janie tomorrow. They're gonna swap stories. Janie's gonna go see their property, and they're gonna come see our property. And you know, that's the community. This is it. This is what we have to offer, and I hope you like it. So
okay.
thank you so much, Mike, LeeAnne. A real pleasure. Thank you for sharing all of that experience, that in the momentness, that energy. Really, really, truly, it is amazing to watch. It's an honor to be a part of. So thank
Well,
you.
thank you for all your help and encouragement and everything else, because I think it's you guys that really pushed us to get going and do it. So that was amazing.
Yeah. Given, you know, I think I mentioned to today was, you know, eliminating those limiting beliefs, still being cautious, right, and still, you know, not letting emotion take over, and still, you know, letting the numbers speak, but you know, presenting the opportunities, and then encouraging. You know what I mean? There's lots of good deals out there that people never take action on, because they're always looking for that better deal. They're always looking for that golden deal. Well, you know what? Even a mediocre deal in real estate, if you're in it for the 3, the 5, the 10, the 15 year, sometimes 6 months, a year, 2 years later, that mediocre is a golden deal, right? You got that 2 years of, you know, appreciation. You got 2 years of mortgage paid down. Like, just, you know, do something. You
There's
know,
so many of powers of real estate. In the pre-training of the blueprint, I lay out 9 of them. So it's more than just the cash flow, but we do like the cash flow. But you know, there's 9 powers of real estate, and you know, I invite you all to jump in and experience it for yourselves. So so excellent. Mike and LeeAnne, very active on Facebook. So if anybody wants to reach out, I think that's the best way. They can reach out to you and share
absolutely.
and all that. So thank you so much. And if anybody is interested in attending the next bus tour in Florida, I saw a question come in. It will be in June sometime. We were trying to get one in May, but turns out that all of our guest speakers aren't available on the weekend that would have worked. So it's not going to be in May, unfortunately. We really wanted to get it earlier, but it'll be in June. And now that we're hashing out the dates, we'll let you know as soon as we know, but it'll probably be in the second half of June. That's where we're kind of landing. No specific date yet. But for anybody on the call who has not attended our blueprint, which is typically the intro event to get all your basics, all your foundations, Mike and LeeAnne have attended the blueprint. They actually even attended the blueprint expanded, which is the upgrade to that. And so if anybody is interested in the blueprint, it is coming up in exactly 1 month's time. So if anybody is interested in that, you can go to n4t.club/blueprint. As simple as that.
And
And
the
yep.
I don't want to jump. I don't want, but that blueprint, we've been real estate investors since 2017. We did the blueprint last October, and it like halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, I learned so much. It was like, especially when Bob comes on and talks about, corporate structure, and it was like, oh my God, like it was worth every penny. And like, we learned so much. There's so
Yeah.
much value in that, couple of days. Even us, we'd been at that point, we'd been real estate investor for 4.5 years, and we've invested in a bunch of stuff. And that really was one of the best values we
Yeah.
ever did.
Amazing. Oh, it warms my heart to hear. We put so much love and time into that thing. But it's amazing. And for the first time ever, it will be a 3-day next time we do it. We are converting the 2-day model to the 3-day. There's just so much that we want to give. But in 2 days, it's intense. I'm sure your brains melted a little bit at the end of the 2 days. So we've actually made it into a 3-day. And so I invite everybody on the call to attend, join the community, reattend. I mean, Julio on the call has been there like 3 times already to the blueprint. So it's not just because you go once, you come again and you learn. You're at different points in the journey, you're ready to hear different things, and it's more relevant to you. So that's when it was time for you to listen in. So that's perfect. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike and LeeAnne, for this amazing deal revealed. Hope everyone had fun. So I'm going to wish you a wonderful, wonderful evening. If you have any questions, reach out. Facebook, we have a page, we have a group, we have an email, info@nowfortomorrow.club. Do what you have to do to get our attention, to jump in, make a splash, and have fun.
All right.
Have a great evening, everyone, and go get your miracle.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.